So today I'm going to be doing a quite requested video, and I am going to be doing some tips and tricks on how to grow your hair, and I'm going to incorporate like my hair care routine into it, because the tips that I'm about to share with you are like my routine that I do. I would say my hair is pretty healthy. I think it's alright. It's quite shiny, I think, and it is pretty long. When it's fully straightened and everything, it's about down to my belly button, so I think that's quite long, and I got it quite long over like a couple of years, and I'm just going to be sharing with you some of my favourite tips that I like to do to grow it nice and long. So tip number one is drinking loads of water, and water helps with everything. Water is the best thing ever. I'm quite fortunate and I actually really like water, and that sounds pretty stupid because everyone thinks water tastes of nothing, but I really like it. And I think if you don't really drink a lot of water, I think you should definitely try and drink some more water, because you will see your skin improving, you'll see your hair improving, your hair will be a lot more shiny and hydrated, and sometimes at the end of your hair, if you know what I mean, it sort of gets a bit dry and not nice. Oh, my dog just barked. But by drinking water, it stays hydrated and nice and healthy. So yeah, that's one of my favourite tips, and I drink water all the time. So my next tip is to use face masks, not face masks. My next tip is to use hair masks often. They'll just really hydrate your hair and keep it looking shiny. I really enjoy using coconut oil on my hair, just because I find that this just makes my hair so silky and soft. And what I tend to do is I will get a bit of coconut oil in my hand and like rub it in my hand a bit and warm it up and melt it a bit, and then I'll just like put it through the ends of my hair mainly, but I'll also put it in the scalp to sort of like stimulate new hair follicles, and it helps my hair to grow loads and keeps me from getting split ends. I also really like the Toni & Guy hair mask, and that's in a different room, so I'm not going to bother going to get that, but I really like that one too. And I just really recommend using hair masks, and if you don't have a hair mask, this is a quick tip for you. Just use conditioner as a hair mask and just put it on before you wash your hair, and then get in the shower and wash your hair. I normally leave my hair masks on for 1 to 2 hours, but if my hair is feeling like particularly dry, I will just leave it on overnight, and that just gives it a really deep condition, and I really enjoy using hair masks. My third tip is a very important tip, and this is not to wash your hair every day. Washing your hair every day will strip you from all your natural oils, and you need these natural oils to grow new hair, and just washing your hair every day is just not good for your hair, and just don't. I would also recommend getting regular haircuts just to get off the split ends, because basically what happens with split ends is people don't realise that their hair will break and it'll sort of go like that and split, and then the split will travel up your hair, and then eventually it will just break off. So your hair is just going to keep splitting and breaking off further and further up, and unless you get the split ends cut off, and your hair will be growing, but you just won't see it growing because it's just splitting off, so it'll just look the same to you. So that's why I'd recommend getting regular haircuts. I wouldn't recommend like getting a haircut like every month, but maybe like every 3 months, every 4 months, just when you feel like you have a lot of split ends. But another one of my tips is to use sulfate-free shampoo, because sulfate is really bad for your hair, and it's just not good, and it's just going to damage your hair. So I would recommend getting sulfate-free shampoo. So now I'm going to share with you some foods that will help your hair grow, and I'm not saying that I do this personally. I don't eat like a lot of these things, but they are very good for your hair. So if you did really want to get long hair quick, I would recommend trying out a few of these foods. So the first food is salmon, and this has a lot of vitamin D in, and it also has protein, and that's just going to strengthen your hair and just make it better. And salmon also has omega-3, which keep your scalp healthy, and having a healthy scalp will just make your hair grow, because obviously your scalp is where your hair comes from. Personally, I don't like fish, so I've never really tried this one out, but if you ever try it out, and then just let me know if it works, because I know it is very good for your hair and it's very good for you, but I just really don't like it. So another food that's really good is yellow peppers. Yellow peppers have, I think it's like 5.5 times more vitamin C than oranges, so obviously that's a lot, because oranges are known for having vitamin C in them. Vitamin C is an antioxidant which prevents hair breakage, and it also will strengthen your hair. And the last food that I would recommend you eating or trying out is egg yolks. And egg yolks have a lot of omega-3s and biotin in, and that's just really good for your hair, and yeah, just strengthens it and keeps it nice. But just be careful not to eat too much of the egg yolk, because the egg whites, because too much egg white can block absorption of biotin into the body. So actually eating too much egg white will not help you. It'll like detract from what you're actually trying to do, if that makes sense, because you want biotin to give you nice healthy hair and to make it grow. But if you eat too much egg yolk, it will block, if you eat too much egg white, it will block absorption of biotin. My 7th tip is to not use heat. I personally don't use heat very often at all. My hair's been so much better since I cut out heat, and I still do use heat, just not a lot. I don't blow dry it. My 8th tip is to use protective hairstyles. So instead of putting your hair up in a very, very tight ponytail that can damage your hair really badly, maybe try a looser ponytail, or one of the best protective hairstyles and way of protecting your hair from the outside world is to just put it in a side braid, because it's not too tight on your hair and it won't break it, but it will also protect it from things around, so it won't get caught on anything. The 9th tip leads on from my last tip, and this is to use the hair ties. I don't know what they're called, but they're the hair ties that don't crease in your hair. I'll put a picture of them on the screen somewhere. They're the ones that don't make your hair crease when they're in a ponytail, and these are so much softer in your hair, and I really like these. I have some, but I'm not sure where they are at the moment. But you can also use scrunchies if you don't have any of them, and scrunchies do the same job, but I think the non-crease hair ties are better, and they're softer and they're really nice. And my 10th tip is to brush your hair very carefully, because if you brush your hair from the tops, you're just going to pull all your knots down and they're all going to clump up at the bottom, and then you're going to have to go really hard to get all the knots out, and then your hair is going to fall out, and just bad things are going to happen. I'd recommend a tangle teaser. I'll put a picture of one on the screen if you don't know what it is. I'd recommend one of them. I have one, but I need to get a new one because it's pretty old now, and I really like them for getting out knots. And also when you're brushing your hair, I would recommend really getting into your scalp, because when you massage your head and stuff, it brings the blood flow to your head and creates new hair and promotes hair growth. And yeah, I'd recommend doing that because it really helps. And my final tip is to relax and don't stress out, because stress is known for causing hair loss, and we want to do the opposite of hair loss. We want to grow new hair, so obviously we don't want hair loss, so that we can get longer hair. So that was the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, give it a big thumbs up, and if you have any other tips, let me know below, and let me know if any of these tips worked for you. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye!